We start today's News at Noon with a live look from our Lincoln City Skycam. What meteorologists are calling a bomb cyclone is expected to bring high winds and heavy rains to the coast this afternoon with gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Thanks for joining us for the News at Noon. I'm Drew Carney, and we just learned in the last half hour that Lincoln County's school district has canceled all afternoon and evening activities. Now, it's not expected to be as windy here in the Portland area and up and down the I-5 corridor, but we still could see gusts close to 45 miles an hour here. So with all that said, we have a KGW weather impact alert in place from 1 o'clock this afternoon through 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we have meteorologist Rod Hill joining us now live from the Weather Center to talk more about this. Rod, what's the latest?
Well, thank you, Drew. And those time frames are the time frames of the warning for high winds at the coast. 1 p.m. this afternoon to 4 a.m. tonight into Wednesday morning. And same thing for the wind advisory up and down the valley, starting at 1 o'clock this afternoon going through 4 a.m. So I don't really have anything that looks different in terms of what I'm looking at as a forecaster from when I talked to you at sunrise this morning. We still have in red, again, this includes not only the immediate coast, but also areas of the coast range, that wind warning starting at 1 p.m. for south winds gusting to 60. And we still have from Eugene through Salem, Portland, Vancouver, up into Kelso, Longview, the wind advisory for winds as strong as 40 to 45. More snow is the white coloring here for a winter weather advisory in the Cascades, but not a big winter storm like they had yesterday. And then we have a high wind warning at 4 o'clock this afternoon, extending until Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. for Bend, Madras, and other parts of Eastern Oregon. This warning as well for south winds gusting as high as 60 miles per hour. It's all because of this bomb cyclone. Now, I apologize, I put a bunch of lines on this to help me tell you the story. So here's the low, the spinning, right? So the low center itself is more than 218 miles out to sea. And it doesn't look like it's going to come any farther toward the coast than this yellow line, which means it's almost about ready to start turning north and then back to the west. And it's that turn away from us that I think will save us from any extreme weather, okay? So that's good news. Here's where we are right now at noon. Winds just starting to become noticeably breezy. Southeast now story to 26. Portland has an east wind, which means it's coming out of the gorge to 25. So again, windy, wet night ahead for the valley, Portland, Salem, and Vancouver. The best bet of 40 to 50 mile per hour winds will actually be east winds coming off the Cascades and through the gorge, by the way. Heavy rain at times. All this will be clearing by tomorrow morning. We'll get into all the Futurecast movies coming up.
All right, Rob, before we check back in with you a little later, we are going to recap some of the weather we've already seen this week, including lots of snow up on Mount Hood with the first significant accumulations of the season at pass level. So this much snow up on the mountain at this time of the year, definitely a welcome sight for skiers, snowboarders, and the ski resorts. Last year, we didn't see this much snow at the resorts until sometime after Christmas.
I follow the weather, but some years the La Nina weather pattern is really good for us, and this year looks to be one of those years.
And the Mount Hood ski area, not the only spot getting hit with snow this week. This is a live look at Snoqualmie Pass up closer to the Seattle area. Leah Pizzetti with our sister station in Seattle has more from there.
It's exactly as the song describes.
Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening?
Overnight at Snoqualmie Pass,
In the lane, snow is glistening.
a wonderland returned.
There was nothing yesterday.
For people who work and play at the pass, it's
A beautiful sight.
Well, I went to work originally,
We're happy tonight,
and then I'm here now.
walking in a winter wonderland.
WashDOT highway maintenance worker Deanna Reynolds
Hello.
has dubbed this,
I call this snowball snow.
Yeah.
and she's right. This year is already off to a better start than last. National Weather Service records show the average snow season at Snoqualmie Pass brings 412 inches. This winter, a weak La Nina is expected, which averages 456 inches per season, more than 3 feet above average.
I think we're getting more to overnight.
And while more snow means more work for Deanna, spirits are high here.
Look how easily this moves. It just,
This is a welcome sight.
yeah.
More snow is on the way, and Deanna will stay on top of it.
Yay! There we go, all ready for tomorrow.
All right, we also continue to follow this next story in Sherwood, where police are looking for the driver who hit a man and his dog while they were out for a walk and then took off, leaving them injured on the side of the road. KGW's Catherine Cook spoke to the man who was hit, who says his dog actually wound up with the worst of their injuries.
She's just got a real special place in my heart.
Randy Magley.
That's right.
And his dog Bella
Yes, you do.
are a team. And never have they relied on each other more than now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I would do without her.
With each step, Bella limps toward recovery after a crash that could have killed them both. Last Wednesday, around dusk, Randy says he and Bella were out for a walk in their Sherwood neighborhood. As they were crossing Southwest Division at Main Street, police say this silver Chevy Suburban turned right into them. The force of impact threw Randy about 25 feet. Bella's harness got caught in the vehicle's undercarriage, pinning her.
I remember hitting the ground, and all I heard is her wailing, and kind of looked up, and he was trying to move forward over the top of her.
Randy says the driver, a white man, kept revving his engine as he begged him to stop. He got a partial plate number, 619.
He finally backed his car up, and she hobbled off about 4 feet and collapsed.
Police say the driver took off. Somehow, Randy walked away with just scrapes and bruises.
I must have had an angel on my shoulder.
But Bella was barely hanging on. When Sherwood police arrived, Randy says the officer drove them both to the nearest vet hospital.
My vet said that, that his fast action most likely helped save her life.
Bella suffered a severe gash on her left wrist, lost the pads on her foot, and will need reconstructive surgery. Randy's vet bills have already topped $5,000. His daughter started this GoFundMe to help.
I didn't even know what GoFundMe was, and I appreciate anybody who's done that. It's very kind.
As police work leads on the suspect, Randy remains by Bella's side. They both know they're still a team.
I want her to be happy, and more than anything, I just don't want her in this pain. I know it's really, really hurting her.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
If you want to help with Bella's medical expenses, we do have a link to the GoFundMe at KGW.com. And anyone with information about the driver or that Chevy Suburban we just talked about is asked to call Sherwood Police. We're also following developing news in Northeast Portland, where police are investigating a deadly shooting. Officers found one man dead just before 6 o'clock last night near Northeast 158th and Fremont. So far, though, police have not released the name of the victim, and they say they haven't made any arrests. The suspect, accused of stabbing a man Friday night outside a Northeast Portland bar called Church Bar, now faces charges of both assault and manslaughter. Abraham Bravo pleaded not guilty in court yesterday. Police say 31-year-old Samuel Van Dyke died after he was stabbed in the neck with broken glass during an altercation outside the bar on Northeast Sandy Boulevard. We talked to Van Dyke's girlfriend. Here's what she said happened that night.
They exchanged some words. The guy threatened to pull Sammy's hair out or something, and they charged at each other, I'm pretty sure, and I thought it was just gonna be a fight, but there was no fight. It was glass breaking, and he got cut right away and started bleeding out.
Abraham Bravo, again, scheduled to appear in court today for an extradition hearing. He's also wanted on a felony charge for allegedly breaking into a car in Nevada. The Portland Clinic, which has been a part of the city's healthcare scene for more than 100 years, says it will stop seeing patients at its downtown location, in part because of all the crime that happens in that area. Police say crowds of people line up here at nighttime waiting for fentanyl dealers at this spot around the clinic that sits on 13th Street between Taylor and Yamhill. In a letter to patients, the Portland Clinic said the downtown location will stop patient services next month, although it will stay open for administrative services.
I was disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
It's a beautiful venue waiting in the lobby, and you have to stare at people using the bathroom and all the drugs and garbage. And
hey, it's what homeless people do to get well.
The Portland Clinic has several other locations around the Portland area and says it will contact patients directly to let them know where their doctor will take their appointments moving forward.